It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. All that and more coming up next.
Thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Tonight we've got an AFC matchup in store for you, as it'll be the New England Patriots taking on the Denver Broncos. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, such a great quarterbacking tradition here in the Mile High City. It continues with the presence now of Russell Wilson. What's your outlook of year two?
Cautiously optimistic, because Russell Wilson, a down year last year, but he's been so great throughout his career, you expect him to get back to those heights. Pair him with Sean Payton, the new head coach, put those two minds together, and I'm expecting Denver to be much improved.
Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they come in off an 8-9 record a year ago, a second losing season in the last three. It had to happen sometime. But you say don't pour water on these Pats just yet.
No, not at all. No one should ever do that. Remember, they're always going to be tough for you to crack defensively. Offensively is where they have to make a jump. They've got to start scaring people with some big play weapons on the perimeter.
And off we go from Denver. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here come the Patriots, led by Bailey Zappi at quarterback in his second season now out of Western Kentucky.
And he's a young man who's always believed in his talents. Didn't have many offers out of high school, ended up at Houston Baptist and put up monster numbers. Decided to take the next step and go to Western Kentucky, and he did it again. Set NCAA records for passing touchdowns and passing yards in a single season. Now the big jump to the NFL. This guy's like a very skilled point guard, knows how to deal and put the ball in the proper place with every throw.
1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Here's Ramondre Stevenson. And he's going to have a Patriots first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 8. Here's Zappi. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. Oh, nice move. Evades the tackler, and now some space. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Off the fake, Zappi. Throw left side complete. That's Parker. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Alex Singleton making the play defensively. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. From the shotgun, Zampi. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. On now the rookie 4th-round pick, Chad Ryland, for the Patriot field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now the third-year man back and healthy. It's Javonte Williams. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Adam Troutman, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week, but they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Baron Browning from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Zampi. And this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Zampi working from the gun. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Zappe's throw into the hands of Henry here. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Zappe looks to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit them quick. Little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. Going play action here with Zappe. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Zappe from the gun. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. And Zappe to throw. Targets Parker, and he's got him on the crossing route. Touchdown, Patriots. Devontae Parker, 32 yards. And the Patriots post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. But not only, Charles, did he beat double coverage to make the catch, and then as soon as he did, locked his gaze upfield and made sure to reach the end zone.
Go grab your dictionary, partner. Look up determination, and his picture is going to pop right up. How about him getting through multiple defenders, finding his way through coverage, and making sure he got to the end zone? That's a big-time play right there.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They go play action with Wilson. Right side, it's Manhurts, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A nice gain at 21 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Play action. It's Wilson. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Anthony Jennings from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
On second down, here's Wilson. This is caught by Williams. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. We'll get another look at Devontae Parker and the Patriot offense. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Zappi fakes a handoff, looks to throw it. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Zappi. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just lob one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. Back deep for Denver, the rookie Marvin Mims. Fielded just inside the 20. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 28-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 52 yards. And the Broncos are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Patriots ready to get the football back. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Zappi to throw on first down. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A very solid gain of 27.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Play fake, and now here's Zappi. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
2nd and 10. Zappi off play action. Complete. It's Henry. Shifts past him at the 45. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Zappi looking to throw it again. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Zappi. Setting up a screen for Stevenson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 10 more there and another first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
His throw incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Zappi back to throw. He completes it to Henry. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Looking to throw, Zappi. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. It's complete to Williams. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort turned it into a successful play.
So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And now the rookie's free. Look at him go inside the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Broncos.
We've sat in a lot of meetings, and they always talk about the offense taking advantage of beginning a half. Plus, special teams coaches don't listen to that. They want to take advantage with their own unit, and they just did.
Yeah, they trailed in the locker rooms, and they changed that immediately.
I think they drew that one up special. That felt like something he pulled out of his pocket that he'd been holding for a while, and they were able to use it effectively.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Taken at about the 1. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. Zappe and the Patriots come up here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. Open man downfield, that's Smith-Schuster. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected. But this is a good pickup here for the first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the fake, Zappe. Now a short one to Gesicki. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
2nd and a couple. They'll try the left side with Stevenson. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 3rd down, here's Stevenson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. On 1st down, here's Zappe. And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Going play action here with Zappe. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now Zappe. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Again, it's Zappe. That is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense have other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action in Denver. Zappi. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Zappi working from the gun. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
On now the rookie 4th-round pick, Chad Ryland, for the Patriot field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
So after the field goal, Riley back out as he'll send this one away. From his end zone, Marvin Mims. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Got a man open. It's Sutton. His 2nd catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his 1st. And it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Open man, and again it's Sutton. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. That's how you drop the run-pass option right there. You get a chunk play out of it.
And you know quarterbacks love to throw the RPOs because oftentimes they're in-breaking routes, but receivers love it even more. The ball gets to them quickly, allows them to put some moves on in the secondary.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
Ball start, offense.
Mike McGlinchey, the Notre Dame man, guilty on that one.
Still 1st down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Wilson. To the left side and intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the third quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
New England trying to get a place on offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 3. And they'll run the toss here with Stevenson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. New England's offense set to go. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. Zappi and the Patriots come up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Zappi fakes a handoff, looks to throw it. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. And Zappi to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Now it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
And that's a sight we feel like we've seen a lot over his career. But remember, for Russell Wilson, 3 in his first year as a Bronco last year and only 15 in the last 8 years. But he still knows how to use those wheels when necessary, and he takes care of business right there.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And now out come the Patriots.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Zappi to throw on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Zappi from the gun.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Zappi looking to throw it again. A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the shotgun, Zappi. Short pass caught by Henry. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. And
they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants any more. Boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again with Zappi. Pass on the out route caught by Smith-Schuster. And the Patriots are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Zappi back to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start
feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. Now Zappi. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Juju Smith-Schuster. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
yeah,
you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Denver's offense ready to go again. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And he is going to have the Broncos first, and that should be the capper. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 42nd mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.